How you doing today? So I'm going to show you guys my 2002 Lexus ES300. Um, so this is my personal car. I'm just graduating high school now. I bought it about 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago, at the end of the summer between my sophomore and junior years. So yeah, this car, had it for about 2 years. I'm going to show it to y'all, all the little, I could say, like features and you know everything that's wrong with it, everything that's right with it. So I'll start up front here. Halogen lights. It's got fog lights. Um, Body's in decent shape overall. The exterior color is like a silver. You can see it's pretty basic styling. It's very nice though. It's elegant, nothing flashy, but just very overall very nice. Very nicely styled car. Um, and I'm gonna hop inside here. I think it's unlocked, although it might be locked. Let's see. Oh, it was locked. So good thing. Got the keys. So just to show you all the door panel, keep it from shutting. Yeah, pretty good shape. See the interior here. Everything is as I got it. I haven't really replaced anything other than under the hood. We had to do a little work. The brakes needed done. Um, the asking price for this car was $3,800, and because of the brake issue, we were able to talk him down to about $3,000, the seller. So, hopping in here, and I'll show you the inside. Very, very nice, elegant. There's little things like right here on the door panel, you can see there's a little piece missing. That is from the previous owners. They locked their keys in the car, so they had to pry their way in up here, get a stick and kind of pry the door handle open. I guess they were able to get this unlocked too. I guess that's how they did it. I don't know. I actually don't know exactly what they did, but apparently they got in, so I guess that's good, even though they broke that piece. And then the other, just little things like this. The car isn't perfect, and I'll show you the mileage here. It actually just went over about, focus, 199,000 miles today on my way to school. So it's a very, it's a higher mileage car. I bought it with about 178,000 miles on it. I think it had just crossed over 179. So it was a pretty good deal, even considering how many miles it had on it. $3,000. Car was in good shape. Needed brakes done. Things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. Actually, I'll do it with the door open. And so you could probably hear that, but it has a little bit of an exhaust leak, especially when you kind of rev it. You can hear it a lot more. With all the windows shut and the doors shut, driving down the road, you really can't tell. It's that quiet, very quiet ride. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you all the features. It's got, a very basic radio, 6-disc in-dash CD player, cassette deck with, I use it for my phone. It's got one of those cassette aux converters, and since my phone's a iPhone 7, it doesn't have an aux port, so I have the little attachment here that converts it to USB. But the sound system, I would let you guys listen to it, but I know YouTube has copyright rules about all their music, so I'm not even gonna turn it on. But it's a very basic stereo system, nothing special. Sounds good though. The sound system is good. It's their premium sound system. You can see that engraved right there. I think it's they made it, Lexus. but it sounds great. It's even got a little subwoofer in the back panel right in the middle. You can't see it. I'll probably show it to you when I go to the back seat. But dual zone automatic climate control works pretty good. I wish the fan blew a little faster, but it works pretty well overall. It cools it down very well. The air, when you have the air conditioning on, it's hot outside. It blows ice cold, so that's good. 2-stage seat heaters for the driver and passenger side. I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood and show you under the engine bay. So let me go ahead. I think the last video I did, the engine noise was kind of loud. I did my dad's Toyota Camry, so I'm going to kind of speak up. Hopefully y'all can hear me a little better this time. So it's a 3-liter V6 engine. It is paired to a 5-speed automatic transmission. It has leaked oil in the past. We actually got that fixed. It was the main seal between the engine and transmission. So we actually had to drop the transmission. Our mechanic did. We didn't do this. And we had to put a new seal in. Kind of expensive. It was about $600. But the engine is very clean. It's in really pretty good shape. It's kind of a pain to work on. Just changing the oil. The oil filter is down right underneath this manifold here, and you have to do it when the engine is cooler, otherwise you'll burn yourself on that. And trying to get that off in the position that it is in is very difficult. So the other thing we had to do is it blew a starter last year at the end of the school year for me. Thankfully it was in our driveway here, so I was able to put it in myself with the help of my dad, actually, so it wasn't myself. But YouTube's great for that. You can look up videos on how to do all this kind of stuff. But the numbers on this engine are 210 horsepower and 220 foot-pounds of torque. So, very good engine. It's not the fastest car in the world, but it certainly isn't slow. By no means is it slow, and it actually, you know what, for what it is, it gets up and goes pretty well. I think the person who's buying this car isn't really looking for a fast car. This is not a very exciting car. And we'll get into that when I take it for a little spin here. But I'm going to go ahead and shut this and take y'all and show you the back seat in the trunk. So, back seat, it's very well maintained. Actually, the leather back here is in pretty good shape. It's not one of those where it looks like nobody's ever sat back there, but needless to say, it's in very good condition. Door panel, again, great condition. I'm gonna go ahead and sit back here so y'all can see. I'm about 6 foot tall, and I sit behind myself pretty well. I have about, maybe a ½ inch of legroom to spare. The seats kind of have a little concavity to them to the back, so when you bring your knees together, you know, if it's out here, you might touch the seat a little bit, but in the middle, you got a little space. My feet, they fit under this seat sort of well. Not great, but, you know, it's fine. It has mat pockets, both seats. For a long road trip, I could do it. The seats themselves are pretty comfortable. It's pretty wide back here. I got a lot of shoulder room. Headroom, not great, but it does have a sunroof, so that's probably the reason why. It's got air vents back here. You can turn them on. They're adjustable, that whole thing. Armrest, show it to you here. Nice big armrest with a trunk pass through for longer items like plywood, skis. It's got a nice padded cup holder with a lid. I think that's kind of nice. And I just wanted to say, before I get out of this back seat, the attention to detail in this car is immense. It's really, really good. And when people say that this car is basically a Toyota Camry with leather seats and a V6 engine. You know what? It's a lot more than that. And it really, the thing that differentiates those two cars the most is the attention to detail in this car versus the Toyota Camry of this generation. My grandma has an 05 Camry XLE V6. It's the top of the line. The only option it doesn't have is the nav. This car, I think it's more of a base model. It doesn't have the rear sunshade back here. There's that subwoofer I was talking about earlier. But I've driven both of those cars. I've had extensive experience with that Toyota Camry, and I can tell you that, especially when it comes to the materials in the car, very padded door panels, everything is soft to the touch, you know, on the dash. This car versus the Camry, the build quality is better in this car. It's, you know, these pillars, all these pillars with the airbags, covers, that's another thing this car has. Side airbags, curtain, and torso airbags that come out of the seat, the front driver and passenger seats, are padded. They're very nicely padded. So it's very good attention to detail. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hop out here and I'm gonna show you all the trunk. Pop it. It's an electronic button. I'm not so sure how much I like that. In case the power were to go out, it means you're stuck, and there's no keyhole for the trunk. So just looking in here, floor mat in back. It covers another kind of a matte surface. Full spare tire. It is an alloy wheel with tools. Not all of them are there, but you know, the necessary ones are there to change the spare. It has a jack underneath that styrofoam plate there. There's a little storage bin where I keep extra oil if I want to, you know, if it's running low, or if I want to check it and see if it needs any. But yeah, very nice trunk, huge trunk, lots of space. Hinges don't crush your cargo on either side. Just very, very usable trunk, and I do use it. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna hop in here, and I'm gonna take it for a little spin with all y'all. This will be probably my second video ever posted on YouTube, so give me feedback. You know, I like to hear what y'all have to say. Tell me what you want to see, maybe what you want different, what you want changed. I'm gonna go ahead and back out of here. We're gonna get moving. I did want to go over before I start, actually, sorry, the miles per gallon that I get, and it's pretty evenly split between mixed and city and highway driving, is about 19.7. as you can see. That's about all, I think that's all time. I've reset it once, so, and that was probably about 6 months ago or something, I don't remember, a long time ago. So that's a pretty accurate representation of the mileage I get in this car. But I'll take it out, we're gonna take it on the highway. I'm gonna show y'all how it drives, how everything moves. But yeah, great car, great car. I'm gonna let these people pass. So yeah, we'll take it out on the highway. I'll show you all how everything moves, how everything shifts. And we will see, oh, there's my dad. I don't know where he's going. I think he's going to AutoZone. And then hopefully, that's what he told me. I'm gonna edit that part out of the video. Anyway, yeah, great car. It's really nice on the highway. Very comfortable, soaks up the bumps great, very quiet. I've taken this car on many long road trips with friends. We live in Ohio, so we'll go up and see my family who lives up in Toledo. We live in Cincinnati, so it's about a 200-mile, pretty flat drive. And this car is great. It just hunkers down on the highway, very smooth, just relaxed driving. The handling though on this car is nothing to write home about. It is, for lack of a better term, bland. It's just not anything that really inspires confidence going into these corners. It's, you know, it's fine for me. I didn't buy this car for spirited driving purposes. I drove it because it would be reliable. I mean, I bought it because it'd be reliable, and I bought it because it was comfortable, and that's kind of what I was looking for. And it is. It's very comfortable, and it's been very reliable. So hopefully it'll continue on that path. But we're just going to kind of go around the block here. I'm going to show y'all how it performs on the highway. We'll go on about a mile on the highway. I'm not going to go far. I don't want to drag this video on too long, but hopefully y'all will get a nice sense of how it drives and handles. Yeah, I'll let y'all listen to the car for a little bit. One other thing I'd like to mention, this is sort of off topic, I don't think I talked about this when I was going over the body, but when we were looking at this car to see if we wanted to buy it, one of the things we did is we brought it to a mechanic, which I would recommend that everybody do when you're looking at buying a used car, especially one with a lot of miles on it that's older. Very, very good idea. I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, so something that, you know, y'all could do is I would make sure that it has all the necessary maintenance done, that it doesn't have a lot of rust underneath. That's something that I would check for, because you don't want to buy a car that's got a ton of rust in it, that's seen a lot of winters. I mean, this car has seen a lot of winters up in Ohio. They're not rough winters, but definitely does see salt on the roads every so often. So we're going to go ahead and get on the highway here, and I'll give it a little acceleration pump here. So as you can tell, pretty good acceleration. I'm not going to complain. Definitely not the fastest car in the world, but it definitely gets the job done. Gets it done well. Yeah, no complaints in that department. But yeah, I was talking about the body. Yeah, this car, very smooth, very comfortable on the highway. Yeah, everything works great. The brakes work pretty well. It does have a bit of a shimmy that it's developed with the brakes over the years. I think it has something to do with just how old it is. It probably needs new rotors. We just got new pads when we did the brakes the last time, because that's what it needed when we were buying the car. But yeah, good highway ride. Everything soaks up the bumps well, very quiet. I already went over all that, but I really can't reiterate that enough. This car really does that well. I mean, you really can't beat it. But hopefully, in the next few years, when I go off to college, I will get another car, one with less miles, that's a little bit newer. And, you know, my family, we've always been Toyota people. Always been Toyota people. Toyotas are probably my favorite types of cars, at least in the family. Lexus, Toyota. But I would definitely say I would love to experience maybe an Acura or a Honda, like maybe an Accord. That'd be kind of cool, just to see the difference in them. I want to stick with reliable cars I know that aren't going to cause me a lot of trouble. And I would definitely get a used car again, because it's just cheaper overall, I think. I don't need a new car. I just need something that's going to get me from point A to point B reliably at the end of the day. And this car does that. So I'm in no hurry to get a new car, but I think my bucket list, at least for the next few years, would be to get another car with less miles that handles better. I'd like to get a car with a little more driver-oriented engineers at the plant. I'd like to get something that's a little more engaging to drive. Because, you know, this car, it's great. I have no problems with this car. It drives well, it's comfortable. Everything about it is really, really nice. But like I said, finding something that is a little more fun would not be against what I'm looking for, because, you know, we've always had Toyotas, and I've heard great things about Hondas, and I'd love to have one of them just to see the difference. You know, I don't want to drive the same types of cars my whole life. Maybe an American car. I'd love to maybe drive an American car, or even a German car. But this car, it's great. I mean, just a great engine, great V6, and this thing, it gets up this hill just fine. It is. There is no problem in the power department in this car. I think it's about 7.5 to 7.8 seconds to 60, if I'm right. So it's not gonna peel your skin back from your face, but, you know, it gets the job done. It's plenty powerful for the person who is buying this car. It is not an issue. Would I like more power? Sure. I know the 07 and up ES 350s have a 3.5 liter V6, which is a lot more powerful than this engine, and I've heard great things about it from other YouTubers. And we know families who have like Siennas and Highlanders with that engine in it, and it is a very smooth engine as well, and it's a lot more powerful than this, and it's more fuel efficient, surprisingly enough. It probably has to do with the amount of engineering that went into it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. Again, comment, let me know what y'all thought about this review. I'm just getting started, so I really appreciate any and all feedback that you guys might have to offer, negative and positive. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and y'all have a good one. Take care.